Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula and welcome to another Hero Arts video tutorial. In this video, I'm sharing a simple kindness card created using several new kindness campaign products from Hero Arts. A simple act of kindness can have a lasting impact. Together with Jennifer McGuire, Hero Arts developed a line of stamps and dies to encourage everyday acts of kindness that combine the joy of making with the joy of giving, offering a bit of kindness to brighten your day. Hero Arts donates 25% of the profits from these products to the kindness campaign to help end bullying. Here I'm using Love is Love bold prints background stamp to create a background for my card. I already have it mounted in my Misty stamp positioner along with a piece of white cardstock that is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I will be doing heat embossing, so I have treated my paper with an anti-static powder tool to ensure my embossing image will be nice and clean. And I'm inking my stamp with Versamark ink. This is the clear sticky ink that is perfect for heat embossing. Now this background stamp that I'm using here is 6 by 6 inches, so it can be used for either horizontal or vertical cards, or it can be also stamped at a slight angle. I am making a vertical card today. You don't need to use a Misty for this or another stamp positioner, but it does make the job a little easier. Here I am inking and stamping my image twice just to have the most perfect impression possible. For heat embossing, I'm going to use Satin Pearl White embossing powder. I wanted to use regular white, but I have very little of that powder left, so I was afraid I might not have enough for the perfect coverage. So I went with a satin pearl instead, and I'm so happy I did because it also gave me a beautiful satin shine to my embossing. I love to use this particular embossing powder on non-white papers as that's where it looks best, but it's also fantastic on white. I preheat my heat tool and heat set my background. While I had my powders and the heat tool out, I also heat embossed the main sentiment for my card. I picked my sentiment from this 6 by 8 You Are Loved stamp set that is filled with fantastic messages. They are both uplifting and encouraging, and they're rather unique, and we definitely need more messages like these. I decided to use Your Kindness Doesn't Go Unnoticed sentiment, and I heat embossed it in white onto a piece of black cardstock. I actually have a pile of black cardstock strips pre-cut. I like to have them nice and ready to go when I'm creating, so usually just pre-cut a bunch in different width and have them sitting within arm's reach. Now let's go back to the background. I knew I wanted to do simple ink blending, so I picked several colors of ink from Hero Arts. I went with Tide Pool. This one is one of my favorites, all-time favorites. I also picked Aquatic and Deep Ocean. So I have 3 similar yet different colors that I'm going to blend into a gradient coming in from the left top corner. I started with the lightest Tide Pool and blended it somewhere in the middle of my panel. Next, I added the second color, Aquatic, and finished my blending with the darkest Deep Ocean. I used the same ink blending foam, and because I went from light to dark, I didn't have to worry about my colors getting contaminated. I don't have a foam for every color of ink that I own, but just one for a group of colors like green, blue, and so on. Next, I trimmed my panel to 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I wanted to get rid of those harsh ink-blended edges, and I also wanted the panel to be slightly smaller so that I could foam mount it onto an A2 top folding note card. I'm going to use a piece of white foam to foam mount my panel, and in order to adhere the fun foam onto the panel and onto the card, I'm using my tape runner. It is often tricky to add tape onto the foam as it doesn't always want to stick. So what I do is I just add the tape to the paper instead. Here I've added tape to the back of my panel, adhered the foam, and now I'm adding it to my card base. I'm not going all the way to the edge as my panel is smaller, but rather making sure to leave a gap around it. To adhere a sentiment, I'm going to use black foam tape. The cardstock is black, so it's only natural to use black tape here to ensure it's less visible on the finished card. Lastly, to embellish this project, I decided to use Hero Arts Ombre Sequins in Ocean, and I adhered them using my Crystal Katana tool and Tonic Deluxe adhesive. I purposely kept this card very simple and therefore easy to mass produce, as I think we need to give more kindness cards like this one. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments section on YouTube or on Hero Art's blog. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!